On Larry King Now, Emmy and Golden Globe winner Allison Janney.
This was my 6th nomination, and I've never won one, so I was fully prepared to lose that night. When they said my name, and in my mind, I thought, did they say my name, or is that what I wanted to hear? So I looked at my friend Stephen Rogers, who wrote I, Tonya, and was sitting next to me. He was like, it's you, babe, it's you. My character says, hey, what the heck happened to my, I didn't use the word heck, but I don't know what kind of language I can use on your show, Larry, and I don't want to insult you. I could, what the f happened to my storyline? That was like my favorite line. I wanted to say that in so many movies I've been in before where my storyline just kind of disappears. That's where I met Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward, because Paul Newman had gone to Kenyon College, and he
went to Yale.
He went to Kenyon College.
But he did go to Yale.
Okay, he may, then he went to Yale School of Drama.
Right,
okay,
yeah.
All right, I'm not fighting with you, calm down.
Plus,
I want to work with Judd Apatow, I'll tell you that.
You like comedy?
I do, but I like things messy. I like things that aren't just comedy, aren't just drama, that they're just life, and they're a mixture of all of that.
So all next on Larry King Now. Welcome to Larry King Now, a return visit for Allison Janney, 7-time Emmy Award-winning actor, known for her dynamic performances in The West Wing, The Hours, Masters of Sex, Juno, and The Help. Allison joins us on the heels of picking up her first Golden Globe for her role as Tonya Harding's mother, LaVonna Golden, in the acclaimed biopic, I, Tonya. Allison also stars in the CBS hit sitcom Mom, now in its 5th season. I, Tonya is in theaters nationwide, and Mom airs Thursdays at 9 p.m., 8 Central on CBS. What was it like, that moment at the Golden Globes?
Larry,
did you have a good seat?
I did have a good seat right in front. I think I was 2 tables from Oprah's table. That was a pretty good position to be in. And I have been there before, as you may or may not know, but I've been nominated for, this was my 6th nomination, and I've never won one, so I was fully prepared to lose that night.
So you had nothing prepared?
No, I did. I had something prepared. I didn't have it written down, though, but I thought, I'm going to be okay either way. I always tell myself, you know, when you're in that situation, if you lose, you think, oh, I'm a loser. I hate myself. You get, have a shame spiral, and then you slowly look around and see how many other people didn't win either, and then you start feeling better.
Well, most of the crowd didn't win.
Exactly. But when I did, they said my name, and in my mind, I thought, did they say my name, or is that what I wanted to hear? So I looked at my friend Stephen Rogers, who wrote I, Tonya, and was sitting next to me. He was like, it's you, babe, it's you.
You said in your acceptance speech, a story about class in America, about the disenfranchised, about a woman who was not embraced by her individuality, about truth and the perception of truth in the media, and the truths we all tell ourselves when we wake up in bed every morning.
I thought about all the things the themes running through I, Tonya, and why they resonate so much today. And one of them is that, this is a girl who was not embraced by the figure skating community. She was poor. They didn't think she was didn't represent who they wanted to have represent the country.
We covered that on CNN.
Yeah, it was that's unfortunate that she was not embraced for her individuality, and they didn't, her athleticism was undeniable. Her talent should have spoken for itself, but it didn't. They didn't want her. They didn't, they rejected her. And I feel that she got treated unfairly, I think. And granted, we don't exonerate her in this movie at all, but you have a little bit more nuanced understanding of what her life was like.
The writer Stephen Rogers, who you were sitting next to,
yep.
Did he write it with you in mind?
Well, I don't know if he knew that the character of LaVonna was going to loom so large in the story of Tonya Harding, but he went up to Portland and interviewed Tonya and Jeff Gillooly separately, because there's no love lost between those two. And he sat down with both of them, and it started to come to this character of LaVonna started to figure heavily in what happened to her. And then as he started to, when he saw, the documentary on 30 for 30 documentary on Tonya, and saw the real woman, and he just thought of me. I don't know why, because it's a terrible character. It's a really horrible woman, and why one of my best friends would think of me to play her. But I just think he knew that I was, I was an actress capable of taking on a character like that. What
makes you a great actress is, as my friend Herbie says, evil people don't think they're evil.
Right.
Hitler didn't look in the mirror and comb his hair and say, I am a terrible person. Okay.
Right.
So Lavana, who's still alive, I think,
yeah,
does not think she's bad.
No, not at all.
So when you have to play that, do you have to like her to play it?
Absolutely. I had to embody her and feel justified with everything I had to play as her. And I used to want to be a figure skater before I had dreams of being an actress. And so I knew a little bit of what kind of commitment it took from the parents of a child interested in that sport, the getting up at 5 a.m. and taking me to the rink, and the expense of the skates and the skating costumes. All of that, and Lavana saying, that every job she had, every penny she made went to Tonya's skating. So it was easy for me to embody that woman who was angry and resentful that she wasn't being appreciated. She was very underappreciated by her daughter.
So you didn't meet the mother?
No, I wish I had. I would have asked her, Larry. I would have asked her a gazillion questions.
Is she complaining about the movie?
I don't know. I'm sure she doesn't like. I'm sure she likes parts of my performance, because I do, speak to her side of things and tell her story. So she's not completely evil. I think she's a complicated woman, and I think I showed sides of her that she would appreciate. I don't think like you said, anyone who's an abusive person doesn't say they're abused. Ted Bundy thinks he's the most charming. He's the most charming man in the room, and Lavana is I don't think I want to meet her now, but I would have before I did this.
But you've gotten friendly with Tonya, right?
Tonya, I met the first time I hung out with her at the Golden Globes when she sat at our table.
Was that the first time?
Yeah, it was the first time. I met her at the premiere, but I didn't get to talk to her at all. And then at the Globes, it was more about just Stephen and I trying to keep her in her seat so she wouldn't go. She wanted to go up and introduce herself to every single celebrity in the room.
Are you surprised at the movie's success?
I don't. When I read the script, and I've had this feeling a couple times for other movies. For Juno, when I read that script, I knew that was going to be. When I read American Beauty, I knew that was going to be great. When I read Steve this script, I thought, this is fantastic. I just loved the way he was telling the story from all the different perspectives, and it was action-packed, just going from one story to the other. And I loved how he broke up the format of the biopic and having my character address the screenwriter, not only break the fourth wall, but my character says, hey, what the heck happened to I didn't use the word heck, but I don't know what kind of language I can use on your show, Larry, and I don't want to insult you. I could what the happened to my storyline? That was like my favorite line. I wanted to say that in so many movies I've been in before where my storyline just kind of disappears.
I just picked up on something.
What?
You were in American Beauty.
Yes. Yeah.
What do you make of the Kevin Spacey thing?
Oh, it's terrible. It's just a great actor, and it's a sad moment. I feel horrible. It's horrible that he would abuse his celebrity that way and abuse.
Did you have any inkling when you worked with him?
No. I mean, you always hear rumors about people. I think what I always knew is that he was. Had been gay but was not willing to come out. Everyone knew that story. That was the one thing that I knew, but I wasn't privy to all that kind of.
Sad.
It's really sad.
Our guest is the Emmy and Golden Globe winning actor and erstwhile figure skater, Allison Janney. Coming up, Allison on her roots and the upside of finding fame later in life. Not that late. Stay with us. We're back with Allison Janney. When did you want to be an actress?
Well, my mother had gone to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York City, and she did a lot of summer stock and had been roommates at one point with one of my favorite actresses, Eileen Brennan, and also Rue McClanahan. And so I grew up, even though she did not pursue a career in the theater or movies or television, I grew up following Eileen's career and kind of falling in love with and romanticizing her life. And then when I went to college and realized I really didn't have a brain for any studies, I just wasn't a great student, and I got so much positive reinforcement on stage. I just thought, well, I guess I'm gonna do this. I went to Kenyon College.
Where's school? Kenyon College.
In Gambier, Ohio, and met. That's where I met Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward, because Paul Newman had gone to Kenyon College, and he
went to Yale.
He went to Kenyon College. Paul Newman went to, I hate to tell you, but he did go to Kenyon College.
But he did go to Yale, too.
Did he do that, too? I don't know.
I think he got a graduate degree.
Okay, he may, then he went to Yale School of Drama.
Right, yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm not fighting with you. Calm down.
Okay, Allison. Okay, I knew Paul Newman, too, okay?
I loved him, and Joanne is still with us, and they were great mentors for me.
So you started in theater. What was your break?
Well, all right, my first Broadway play, I consider that my first big break, which was Present Laughter, Noel Coward's Present Laughter. I did that with Frank Langella. So that was in 1997, 96, 7, 8, somewhere in there. And then right after that, Stanley Tucci cast me in his movie Big Night, and then Alan Ball cast me in American Beauty. Things just slowly started happening, and then then I did Primary Colors with Mike Nichols and Aaron Sorkin. Were you in that?
I interviewed the press person when they played the tape, like he was making a reservation.
Yeah.
At the restaurant. Yeah, had a great scene.
Larry, we've tread the boards together, as it were.
Oh my God, we've been in things together.
We've been in things together. I had no idea, but that's what Aaron Sorkin saw me in that movie, and that's why I was in West Wing. I'm convinced it was because of
West Wing made you. Do you think boomed you?
That definitely put me on the map more than anything else.
What is it like to have found? You could be called a character actress, but now you're kind of like mainstream character. In other words, Allison Janney is now above the title. What is it like to have found that later?
Well, and really later. I mean, I didn't start my career till I was 38, and now here we are, 20 years later, and I feel like I'm having a wonderful moment that I don't want it to go away, but I know I'm pretty grounded about how these things go, and this, the spotlight will turn off me for a while and go to someone else, and I'll be still.
What did you do till you were 38?
I was in theater in New York. I was in like a member.
Oh, but you were working.
I wasn't getting paid, but I was doing a lot of off Broadway theater, and I did. I was doing soap operas. I did get paid doing a Guiding Light. I was on that.
You were on Guiding Light?
Yeah, I was on Guiding Light as Jenna Spaulding's maid. Yeah.
How long were you on?
I think at least a couple of years, year and a half or two or something. It was great. It was one of my first.
Soaps are hard, aren't they?
They are very hard, and there was a stigma about being on a soap back then. Actors were like, "Oh, you don't want to be on a soap," and I was very impressed with the work ethic of actors on soap operas.
Up next, Secret Talents, Guilty Pleasures, and Odd Jobs with Allison Janney, and we'll talk about her hit CBS sitcom Mom as well. We'll be right back. Allison, she's won the Golden Globe for I, Tonya, playing Tonya Harding's mother. She also stars in the CBS hit sitcom Mom. Just aired its 100th episode. Mm-hmm. How do you keep a sitcom going? What's the secret? Is it all the writing?
It's the writing, and I don't have anything. And then hopefully a little bit of the chemistry of the actors, on screen that we have. I think we've helped bring these characters alive, and people care about them and are rooting for them, and love that our show isn't just about laughs, that we deal with issues that face everyone, and especially people who are in recovery. That's the most rewarding thing about being on a show like this, is having all the people come up to say, thank you for your work on Mom. I have 25 years, and I'm so grateful that you do a show about people in recovery.
You said you gravitate toward roles of people not like you. Are you anything like Mom?
Not like Bonnie, no. I wish I were a little more like her. She's not afraid of what people think of her, and she doesn't have boundaries, and she's inappropriate, and I should be a little more like that, Larry.
Who did you play that was, you'd say, closest to you?
I think the character in Masters of Sex, not that I haven't had an orgasm before, let's be clear about that.
You've had one?
I have. But I loved how quiet Margaret Scully was, and wondering why she was not something just didn't feel right about her life, and she was just curious and wounded, and so there's something softly tragic about her, and there's something about me that I always tend to be a little the Eeyore in life, a little sad about things, and wondering what does everyone else have that I don't have, and how can I, she just was a lovely, easy character to slip into.
How have you avoided wedded bliss?
I don't know. I think I'm very smart.
Have you been proposed to?
Yes, I have 3 times. And
ever regret the rejection?
No, I think we all were in agreement. It was a good decision. I hope.
Allison Janney won the Golden Globe for I, Tonya. Academy Award nominations will be announced. You're going to get nominated. You know you're not going to get nominated. Come on, don't bite your teeth. You're going to get nominated.
I don't want to.
Okay. You said in a recent LA Times interview that you didn't have to deal with any casting couch experiences. But it seems few women haven't had sexual harassment, especially in your field of endeavor.
I don't know what to attribute that to, other than I was 38 when I started and 6 feet tall. I don't.
Why did you know about it?
I think, as you know, when women talk about the Whisper Network, you would hear stories and someone say, "Oh, be careful with that one. Keep a friend with you." I think women would protect each other that way before you felt safe to talk about things like this in the open, for fear of retribution or having your career. I totally understand, especially young girls being in that kind of situation and not wanting to. I was especially moved by Lupita Nyong'o's story. And feelings resonated with me as a young actress, and you're taught to open your feelings and be emotional, and you do trust exercises, and you're very trusting. It's a very innocent place to be, and to have someone like Harvey Weinstein take advantage of that is just heartbreaking to me, because I'm sure she was told by everyone, he's the most powerful man in the business. He's going to make or break your career, and you want to believe that, and it's just.
Did you ever work with Harvey?
I never worked with him, never met him. Or if I did, I don't remember, but it would have been when I remember going to those after the Globe parties when I hadn't won, and I'd go to the parties anyway, and I'd always go to the in-style party, and people would go, "You want to go to Harvey's party?" And I was always like, "No, I don't have to go to Harvey's party." I was always sort of afraid of him anyway.
Okay, we play a little game of If You Only Knew. It's not a courtroom.
Okay.
You don't have to answer. Who was your childhood celebrity crush?
Oh, Davy Jones, the Monkees. And Bobby Sherman, too, but Davy Jones especially.
Bobby was just at his birthday party.
Really?
Bobby
Sherman's birthday?
He's still a cop.
And Davy Jones left us, unfortunately, but...
Current celebrity crush?
Oh, well, say you and George Clooney.
Yeah, we're so much alike. What's a secret talent?
Juggling.
You can juggle.
Absolutely.
A good talent. Guilty pleasure?
Oh, eating tons of pasta and on the couch and not moving and not working out.
Weirdest job you ever had?
Well, I was a nighttime receptionist at a recording studio in New York City, and I think I was pretty much an unwitting drug dealer.
What do you,
People leave packages for musicians. I'm like, oh, sure, I'll give it to him. And then I was like, Allison, do you realize what...
You have an interesting life, Allison.
Wow.
Who would you trade places with for a day?
Beyonce performing live at the Super Bowl. That'd be kind of fun to experience.
What film could you watch over and over again?
Spinal Tap.
Something you wish you were better at?
Being interviewed. You are making it very easy for me.
You're actually a great interviewer.
You're making it. I love talking to you, but mostly I don't enjoy this at all.
Really?
And I have to say I really am enjoying talking to you.
Why don't you enjoy it?
I don't know, because I feel my mind goes into wormholes and I get nervous and I have processing disorder, I think.
Last time you were starstruck?
Oh, wow. Well, at the Globes, I have to say, everywhere. I mean, just turning around, there's Angelina Jolie and there's Tom Hanks and Oprah, and I was so glad that she had gone around to the back to prepare for her speech when I won, because otherwise I would have been having to speak right in front of Oprah.
Something on your bucket list?
Oh, true love.
Still want it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have anyone in mind?
They're all.
George Clooney's married.
Sure,
Best compliment you ever got?
Well, weirdest compliment. It's always weird when people come up and say, "Gosh, you're so much prettier in person." Oh, thank you.
Strangest fan encounter?
I was presented with a gift after 9 to 5 on Broadway, Dolly Parton's musical that I did, by a fan who gave me a quilt with pictures of me from every job I'd ever done in my life on the quilt, and I was overwhelmed by it. It was an odd but beautiful gift, and I never thanked her appropriately for it. But
what did she say?
She just gave it to me, and I
You still have it?
Yes, I do. It's kind
Wow.
of extraordinary.
What is something people get wrong about you?
My height?
Were your parents tall?
Yes.
Did you play basketball?
I did not.
But you figure skated.
I was a figure skater and field hockey player.
Did you fall a lot?
I did, and it was a long way to the ground, too.
What should we be paying more attention to?
Global warming.
You're not kidding. When do you feel most free?
When I'm acting.
That's me too. When I'm working, I feel it.
I feel it when I'm in all that old age makeup that I wore on for Tonya. I felt liberated by that. I loved it. Didn't have to
You
be
like
me.
being someone else.
I do.
Something you long believed to be true and then realized wasn't.
Happiness.
Tell me something people don't know about you.
I can't believe I said that.
Oh, my God.
I love rap music. I don't know if anyone does know. I love rap music.
Why do you like it? It's
I
not
just love to
music.
dance. It makes me, I like
You dance to rap music?
Oh my God, yes. And I just love to learn the lyrics and, lip sync to them and everything.
Even some of the rough lyrics?
Yes, I love the rougher the better.
So you like tough language?
I do. I have a bit of a truck driver mouth. That's something people don't know about me.
You'd be welcome at the White House.
No, thank you.
Allison will answer your social media questions in our final segment. Allison is on her way to an Oscar nomination. We all know it. Why deny it? We'll talk about that after the break. Our guest, one of my favorite people, Allison Janney. Tonya is in theaters everywhere. And Mom airs Thursdays at 9 p.m., 8 Central on CBS. She has become a star. Character actress to star.
Overnight success.
Overnight success. It was a long night. Before we get into social media questions, true that your dad was a jazz musician?
Yes, he still plays piano, jazz piano. He's brilliant. I bought a piano for my house in L.A. just for when he comes to visit so I can wake up.
Did he play professionally?
No, he did not play professionally. But they did, he played with the Tiger Notes in Princeton, and I think they cut a few albums, but didn't play professionally.
You have brothers and sisters?
I have an older brother who's in northern New Hampshire and a younger brother who's no longer with us.
Oh.
Yeah.
You lost a younger brother?
Yeah.
Some social media questions for you. Rachel Moody says, you often say that there's a part of your mother in every role you play. Is that true of LaVonna?
You know what, Rachel? I don't think there's, I think LaVonna's the one exception. My mother is nowhere near LaVonna.
Daniel Christopher Thomas, what was the last part you had to audition for?
Mom. I auditioned for the role of Bonnie Plunkett.
They didn't call you to do that?
No, and because Anna had been cast, Chuck wrote the series with her in mind, and then they wanted to have people come in and have a chemistry read with Anna, and I agreed to it because I thought it was important that whoever got cast as the mother, they should have a good rapport. And
so when you audition, even though you've had all these credits,
yep.
Is it funny to audition?
It was kind of fun. It was thrilling. I hadn't auditioned in a long time. I remember I was absolutely terrified sitting out in my car in the parking lot at Warner Brothers and just going over my sides and reapplying lipstick and just trying to do my relaxation.
How soon before they call you back?
I read, and I think it might have been that same day they later told me that it was mine. So they didn't make me wait too long.
Did you know it would be a hit?
Nope. No, I had no idea. You never know with these things.
Ann Galazzara asks, would you ever go back to playing J.C. Gregg if the chance came up the West Wing?
Oh, C.J. Craig.
C.J. Craig.
If Aaron writes it, I would be in a minute.
When you're playing an Aaron Sorkin, like I just saw the movie of Molly's Game,
Mm-hmm.
there's so much dialogue.
Yeah.
And it's so crackling.
Yeah.
Is that tough to play or easy?
Well, the memorization is tough, but you have to get it down cold.
You don't change it.
No, Aaron does not let you change anything, punctuation, anything. And once you have it, it's really fun to, then you can find freedom within that structure, but you got to know it cold. And boy, I enjoyed that.
Carl Monroe, any memories to share from Kenyon?
Oh my gosh. Well, one of my favorites was auditioning for Paul Newman at the Hill Theater at Kenyon, and getting up on stage and telling him a lie about how long it took me to drive from Dayton, Ohio to Gambier, Ohio in my Scirocco. It was for the play, this play that Michael Christophero wrote called C.C. Pyle and the Bunyan Derby, and Paul came to direct that play in the brand new theater at Kenyon called the Bolton Theater.
Did you get the part?
And I did get the part. And I just sort of fabricated I pretended I was a fast driver when you knew the exits to take.
What was he like as a director?
He was fantastic because he would not.
He was a low-key guy.
Yeah, so he would not sit in the audience and yell out directions. If he had to give you a direction, he would call you over to him. He'd put his arm around you and take you to the side and give you directions. So none of the other actors would know what direction he was giving to to a specific actor, which I thought was a great way to direct. And also, I kept wanting him to do that just because I wanted to have his arm around me.
Alex Townsend, who's your dream co-star?
Oh Lord, there's so many actors. I want to work with Judd Apatow. I'll tell you that much. I'd love to be in something that he does. Oh God, there's so many actors I want to work with, and I'm blanking on all of them. Yeah, too many.
You like comedy?
I do, but I like things messy. I like things that aren't just comedy and aren't just drama, that they're just life and they're a mixture of all of that, all of it.
Tell me are you nervous about the Academy Awards? What are you thinking?
Well, I'm not sure in this moment when they are going to be announced, and I'm okay with that because I don't want to know. I don't want to know, Larry.
2 days after the next. I will not give you the date.
Don't give me the date.
It's near the next full moon.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
I don't either, but I don't want to know because I won't sleep the night before if I know. I will be.
Well, one of the problems is you live in Los Angeles.
I know.
They announce them at 5:30 in the morning to meet 8:30 New York time.
They do?
So if you get the nomination, you will be woken. Or you will
not
be...
really, because there are no phones. I don't have a phone in my house anymore, and I have my cell phone on off all the time. So
how will you know?
I'll just blissfully sleep through and wake up, and when I wake up, I'll go, oh, my phone's blowing up, or not.
No matter how it goes, you're still a star. Come on, Allison. You're going to win it all. It's your year. Your year.
I love you.
There's another role coming. You're still going to have to audition.
I don't mind it.
I want to thank my guest, the wonderful Allison Janney. I, Tonya is in theaters nationwide, and Mom airs Thursdays at 9 p.m., 8 Central on CBS. You can also find me on Twitter at King's Things. I'll see you next time.